Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and welcome back to the Smoke Sash podcast. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm so excited to be here with all you sexy ladies. A lot of you guys have been finding this podcast recently. Occasionally, I've been doing this for almost 4 years now. 4 years. Can you believe? Oh my God. And occasionally I'll see quite a massive spike of people listening to this podcast. I don't know how you found your way here. I don't know if it was the universe. I don't know if it was through recommendations. Either way, so happy to have you here. Welcome. Loving it. There's plenty of content for you guys to enjoy. So just thank you for being here and thank you for being you. We have a lot to catch up on today. Not with me personally. Luckily, life's been fairly chill and I am thankful for that. All my friends, I've been seeing them recently, so they're like, so what's new with you? And my answer is always nothing, and I'm actually very grateful for that nothing because this month April has kicked me over the head practically. Car stolen, bought new car, found car, cat, another emergency surgery. So far so good. Please keep danger in your prayers. I feel like almost to the finish line, but I don't want to jinx it. I really am just taking my time with that one. Yeah, life's been a little cuckoo bananas. So I welcome in the stagnant energy, the chill energy, the restful and relaxation. I think with all the rain too that we've been having, April showers bring May flowers, and I think May will be a very, very great month for me. It honestly always is. It gets hot. I get outside a little bit more. I feel a little bit more hopeful as my birthday approaches as well. I'm just such a summer child. So hopefully I got all of my bad energy and bad luck out of the way in April to make room for blessings and fun for the summertime. I know. But yeah, luckily not a whole lot new with me. I do know that coming up I would like to plug Independent Book Day. Independent Book Day, please go support your independent bookstores. Yes, you can. I know it's not independent, but even Barnes & Noble is a great place to buy books. We had a rainy day yesterday, and I've been trying to go to the tulip fields to go tulip picking, and it just hasn't worked out with the days that I've had available and with the weather. I'm not going out in the rain to go tulip picking. I do need it sunny and 75. Unfortunately, missed that chance. That's all right. So I wanted to do something with my day yesterday, and I ended up, passing by Barnes & Noble because I wanted to go get the newest Hunger Games book. Yes. Listen, our Barnes & Noble is 3 stories tall. If you need just a dose of inspiration, yesterday, I think media that is not your phone is very important. Very, very, very fucking important. Last episode, I talked about the importance of movie theaters and how it's such an underrated high activity. Girl, eat an edible, go sit in a movie theater for 3 hours. Your life will be changed coming out of there. I think the same also exists with bookstores and reading books. Not me being books are underrated, bitch, shut the fuck up. But high key, they are. And I love entering a Barnes & Noble and staying there for hours. Our Barnes & Noble is 3 stories tall. It has a coffee shop inside of it, Starbucks. I don't go there, but you could spend a whole day in there if you truly wanted to. And I was there for probably an hour just looking at books, picking things up, checking out cookbooks, checking out, all these different things. I do appreciate that you can go in there and kind of peruse books without having to buy them. Just kind of get a feel for them before you take them home. And I ended up leaving with Kitchen Confidentials. Yes, I felt like in my 25th year of life, I have spent so much time in the restaurant industry. It is finally time for me to read Anthony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential. I have been avoiding it like I do avoid all restaurant media because working in the restaurant industry is like being locked in a cell, and as soon as you escape that cell, you do not want to willingly enter it on your own time. Like, I'm not going to leave my restaurant where the chefs are screaming at each other and getting fist fights in the back to come home and watch The Bear, where fake actors on TV are screaming at each other and getting in fist fights. I don't want to experience that, girl. I'm clocking out for a reason and you're not paying me at home, so I simply will not watch that media. But Anthony Bourdain has a very, very special place in my heart. The Tumblr girlies know. If you are one of the probably 30,000 that exist on there, that gif of Anthony Bourdain walking on the street smoking a cigarette, like, true, such a vibe. And I need to get into that energy, and I felt like it was just time. It's time. I needed to read the book, so I purchased that one. I'm very excited to get into it. I do love his way of words and just his pessimistic / optimistic worldview. I do appreciate that, just seeing the world for what it is and kind of finding that glimmer of hope wherever you can, even in a crazy restaurant industry where, you know, life can feel upside down for a split second during those rushes. So I'm very excited about that. And then also I went there for the new Hunger Games book. My dumb ass. I gotta quit the weed, you guys. I simply can't. Well, I got overwhelmed. I got like a little bit anxious because there was this mom and her son standing in front of like all the Hunger Games books, and he was kind of just like spinning in circles practically, and she was not paying attention to him, and it was taking up the whole area. So I just reached for what I thought was the newest book. It was not. It's A Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. I think I said that right. Which was the last book about President Snow. I needed the newest book. And of course, I'm at the cash register like, no, I don't need a receipt. Anyways, that's my one errand for the afternoon, is I need to go back to the bookstore and hopefully purchase the right book this time. But I'm very excited to get into that one too. So I was able to purchase a book for my 25-year-old self, Kitchen Confidentials, and then also purchase a book for like 13-year-old Hannah, because best believe as soon as those Hunger Games books were coming out, I was the first one to check them out in my library. Yes, I was. I feel like I stumbled upon like a gold mine when my librarian when I was like 12, she was like, listen, I got some good shit for you, girl. It was like going to your favorite drug dealer who always has new shit. She's like, listen, girl, there's this new book series coming out called The Hunger Games. We get it in a week. We will give it to you as soon as it comes out. Like, we'll put your name down first. Oh my God. I've never felt a high like that ever in my entire life. So I'm excited to kind of, you know, treat my 13-year-old inner teenager to that, and also just get into some new literature, get off of my phone. But yeah, other than that, just hanging out, chilling, doing a little bit of house hunting, doing a little bit of just like dream planting. I do a lot of that actually. And someone put it into really incredible words on my Patreon, so I figured I would kind of give her flowers and bring it up. If you don't know, on Patreon, I do exclusive content, not like that, don't worry. For the girls, I do extra episodes every single week. I do, you know, new moon and full moon write-ups, just any sort of astrology write-ups, so you guys know what's going on in the cosmos. I do spell sharing. I'll do Monday manifestations with you all, a little bit of inspiration. I'll do journal prompts. We do a lot. I just did a 420 mukbang as well. I'm hoping to do more vlogs and stuff. So check me out there, patreon.com/smokeseshshotty, if you want to come hang out. But she said, Miss Sophia, hi queen. I love the way you plan for the future, like you plant seeds and trust life to bring you closer to the things you want instead of being frantic and rushed about getting there. You know what you want, and then you keep an eye out for opportunities. And I noticed that for years now that this has served you very well. Literally worked for the bongs and it worked so well. You'll work for the meetup and it will also work for the house. I have taken on this approach for myself now, and I'm way less stressed and more hopeful for the future. I like to plan way ahead now and always leave room for magic. Things always turn out better that way. I saw that and I was like, oh, bitch, your way with words actually has me wet, because you're so right. You clocked me immediately, and it did make me feel very seen and heard and understood in a way that maybe I haven't psychoanalyzed myself yet. I used to be someone who felt very unfulfilled by life because I was trying to move at a pace that just wasn't working out for me. You know, I wanted in my first year of college to just have my degree. I wanted, you know, in my second year of high school to just graduate by then. I wanted to just have that immediate payoff to the point where I knew that's not how reality worked, but still, since it wasn't going at the pace that I wanted or as fast as I wanted, I felt like I wasn't either doing enough or the world wasn't working out for me or I wasn't enjoying my time. Instead of just allowing life to take me along for the ride and for me to just be a part of the process and enjoy the process every single step of the way and trust that I will get to the finish line eventually. I used to be miserable because of that. I used to be so miserable. Oh, I'm not getting what I want. Oh, I'm not getting exactly when I want it. Oh, life's so hard for me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Girl. It's not always going to go how you want. It's not always going to be exactly how you want. It's not going to be as fast as you want. You're not going to have that immediate gratification. And in fact, I argue having that immediate gratification is not going to be as fulfilling as those long-term waited on plans, truly. And the reason that I think I am having a much easier time in my mid-20s, especially in that phase of your mid-20s where you kind of hit 25, 26 and you realize like, wow, A, what am I doing? And B, what do I want to do? And that can feel like aimlessly wandering through a desert unless you learn to kind of set dreams, trust in yourself, and enjoy every single day. I have been living that way for a bit of time now, especially in this mid-20s era that I am in. And I'm so glad to be able to take you on, honestly, the entire journey of my 20s. I started this podcast when I was, I believe, 22. Like freshly 22. And I've gone through so many phases of my life, and I felt like back then I was just chasing and running and coming up short because I was trying to move the world at a pace that was just too fast and I knew was not a successful pace, instead of learning to enjoy the now, dream a little bit, set those goals, and slowly, step by step, work your way there. You do not have to become an overnight success. You do not have to, buy a house in a day. You don't have to start a family in a day. You don't have to have that CEO job in a day. You don't have to have that brand new startup company, $1 million Forbes top 50 in a day. That's just not how it works. And if that's how you are trying to push yourself, you will always feel unfulfilled by the life you are living. You will always feel lesser than, you will always feel like you're not doing enough. And that is just an exhausting way to live life. And I lived life for quite some time like that, especially throughout my high school career and throughout my college career. It was just like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Stop. Enjoy the now. Pause. What is going on in front of you? Where can you find joy in your daily life? You will get to that big, giant, successful thing that you want to get to eventually. Trust in that. That is a fact. And you have to believe it as a fact if you really want it. But in order to get there and in order to make the journey a little bit easier, especially a long journey that it does take, you need to stop and enjoy what is going on now and appreciate what's going on now. Trust in the fact that everything you dream of will become a reality. But focus on each step that you do take along the way and try and make the best of it that you can. It makes for a much more fulfilling and much more enjoyable life. Even if the only thing you're doing this week is going to Barnes & Noble and accidentally buying the wrong book. Still, you're having a good time nonetheless. Even though you're stuck inside all week from the rain. Who cares? You're finding joy in the place that you are right now. I think it's very important, and I think it's like a underrated lesson that does kind of come with time. When you're young, you have the energy and you have the drive to be just such a go-getter, which is fantastic. Use that for dreaming, use that for goal setting and planning. But please be patient with yourself and the process. The process is underrated. You can't skip it. It's very important. Stick by yourself and seek joy in everything around you. Anyways, that being said, enough of my ramblings for the morning. Let's get into everything on your guys' mind. You guys, I'm filming this way early. It's like 9:30 in the morning. Can you believe? But at least you have me fresh-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go. I guess this is a good one to start off with. Looking to move soon. Do you have any tips and tricks? Yes, I think this is a great time to talk about this because I am actually house hunting at this current time. And we just talked about patience, which is also the key to moving out, if I'm being honest. I don't want any of you guys ever putting yourself into bad financial situations or putting too much pressure on yourself or moving into a place that, doesn't completely fill every want and need that you have. I think it is okay, like with all good things and with all big goals, to work slowly, plan slowly, and take your time. I was in a point in time, especially at the end of the winter, when I had gone about 6 months with my neighbors smoking fucking Marlboro Blacks in their house, 4 packs a day, all day, every day. I was practically smoking a pack myself every day with how much cigarette smoke I was breathing in. Listen, love my cigarette. I am not against people smoking cigarettes. I am against people smoking cigarettes directly under me at 3 a.m. to the point where it wakes me up in a coughing fit. Bitch, what the actual fuck? I cannot deal anymore. It pushed me to a point where I was like, I need to go. I need to get out. I need to get out. And I think a lot of young people feel this, maybe not with the cigarette smoke of it all, but more so with the living with their parents of it all. And I was that way the first time I moved out. When I first moved out, it was during COVID. It was during lockdown. My parents were like, I was still working at like my first ever restaurant job because we were doing to-go orders still. And my parents were very strict about what was going on, as they should be. But to a point where I was like, this is too much. They were like, if you are working with the general public, you need to come home, immediately take your shoes off outside, hose down your shoes, go directly down to the basement, take all your clothes off, put them in the washer, and then put on a new fresh pair of clothes, and then you can go shower. Like, girl. I am not, it felt that deadly at the time, and like no hate at all, but none of us are immunocompromised. I think I can afford to at least maybe take my shoes off outside, come inside, wash my hands, and then go upstairs and take a shower. Like, it was just too much, too many rules, too many regulations. And also we were stuck inside all day, so I was kind of losing my fucking mind. And even during that time, I really took my time and didn't rush it. Although I wasn't moving out into a house. Well, I kind of did. It was more so a room in a house. I still took my time to kind of plot and plan and feel fully finished and fully done with that phase in my life before moving out, making sure I had my finances in order, making sure I did the math of it all, making sure I actually enjoyed the place that I was moving into. I was only moving into a room, so it probably took me, the first time I moved, 3 months to really get that settled. Now, where I am now in life, where it's like I want to move into a house, my own house. I'm not buying a house. I'm probably renting a house. But that's more of a big jump. I'm not going to be able to do that in 3 months, especially with the way real estate is right now. I'm going to have to take a little bit more time to plan and think it out. But also in that planning and that thinking, it gives you time to get shit in order, such as, oh, what do I need to buy? What do I need to, maybe save a little more on? Where do I need to look? How many house chores can I fit in on this day? Everything will all work out. Please. Patience is key, especially when you're moving. I don't want you moving into a place where you don't know the people and then you end up hating your life because you moved into another house with horrible people, or you moved into a house that has like bugs and roaches and rodents and rats and mice, and it's like, oh my God, I didn't know, but you didn't take the time to really look around and pay attention. Or maybe you think you can afford this thing, but you didn't actually do the math right, and then you get there and then you're struggling financially. Pause. Take a moment, think it out, dream a little bit, mood board a little bit, keep an eye on what's going on, but do not move in a rush. I don't want you ever in a situation where you feel stuck in the home that you live, especially financially or mentally or physically. So Hannah's house hunting rule number 1, patience. Patience, 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 patience. B or 2, whatever we're on, finances. You got to have your finances in order. For me personally, I feel comfortable moving as long as I have 4 to 5 months rent saved. I know that's maybe a lot more than what most people save. If you're young, I think having at least 3 months rent saved is important, because you will need to put a security deposit down, which is the price of 1 month's rent. And then you need to put the first month's rent down, which is the price of 2 months' rent. And then you need to you'll move in, and then you'll need to buy things, fill in the house. Maybe you need a couch here. Maybe you need a new bed frame, whatever it is. that usually adds up to maybe half to all of third month's rent. So that's 3 months rent that you need to be saving. That's kind of your emergency fund slash what you will be paying, especially if you have to pay utilities, gas, water, electric. At the bare minimum, 3 months rent. For me personally, if I want to feel actually like, okay, I got a savings and I'm able to afford all these things, 4 or 5 months rent. And yeah, sometimes that means not going out to eat, not buying that new thing, saving money and working towards a big goal that you want to accomplish. That's the part of adulthood that no one really talks about. It's like, yeah, sometimes you do have to cut out those fun things in order to afford those big goals and those big dreams that you do have. I was kind of raised that way too, so it's easier for me to understand. I mean, my parents didn't raise us with a lot of money, and it was definitely like, we are not going out to eat. We are cooking at home every single day. We are shopping, sales tags. We are getting discounted food. We are, budget. There was no random McDonald's runs. I think I probably ate at McDonald's twice my entire childhood. We never really went out to dinner as families. I don't remember ever going to a sit-down restaurant with my family unless it was like also because my extended family wanted to do a big thing. And that's because they always wanted to save for something bigger, whether it was like a college fund or like maybe a summer vacation for us all. You have to think about those big goals and prioritize those big goals over the small instant gratifications of it all. Also, when it comes to finances, one of my biggest tips that I can give anybody before moving out is don't buy anything for your new apartment. Truly. The only things you'll honestly need for your new apartment as soon as you walk in is cleaning supplies, okay? Paper towels, Lysol, mop, broom, because maintenance will clean, but it probably won't be as clean as you want. And when you do move in, I highly encourage doing one big cleaning. When I move out into my new house, I will probably make a little vlog on this. So if you need tips and tricks, stay tuned. But cleaning supplies, towels for showering / shower curtain, bed and sheets, and pots and pans. I think that is the bare minimum of what you need. Everything else you will move out and you will get a feel of the lay of the apartment, of the room, of the space. And then that's when you make your purchases. Because I've done the thing where it's like, well, I just want to be prepared. Let me buy this thing. Let me buy this dresser, blah, blah, blah. And then I move into the building, the space, and it just doesn't work. I can't physically move it in. The movers can't move it. It doesn't fit the space. It's too big. It's too small, whatever it may be. So wait on those big purchases until you actually move into the space. And also, instead of buying your furniture on Amazon where it's going to break in a year, just buy it on Facebook Marketplace. Buy it for cheaper. See if you can work it out where they can drop it off for you. Buy your friends some pizza, have them help you move it in. But if you can plot and buy on Facebook Marketplace, that's how I have afforded a lot of my good furniture. This cheetah print chair that I'm sitting on right now, $50. Yes. Facebook Marketplace. The man pulled up to my house in a pickup truck. Me and my friend were here. He dropped it off outside. We attempted to carry it inside. He was like, no, I can't watch these girls struggle. He physically lifted it up and carried it into my apartment for me. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace for the win. Amazon could never. They charged me $350, have me build it myself, and it'd probably break in a week, and they'd be like, sorry, that sucks. You didn't buy insurance on it, girl. Big and greedy. Hate Amazon, literally. But yeah, wait to make those purchases till you move into the place. I do kind of love the feeling of moving into a new home and it's like you have no furniture, you have nowhere to sit. You're sitting on the floor eating pizza or pad thai, like watching your TV that's also sitting on the floor. But it's such a young adult moment that is so accomplishing and just like a full circle moment. I think everybody should have to go through that and enjoy that situation because it's like such a heartwarming feeling, even though you're like, wow, I just dropped $4,000 and I'm sitting on the floor watching my TV on the floor. That's okay. It's part of life. It's part of the process. If you're young and you've never moved out, I do highly encourage living with roommates. First place I moved out into was a room in a house, and there was like 5 rooms, and it was me and 4 other girls living in this big house together. And although none of us became like besties or really good friends or whatever, it was still nice to know that I wasn't alone first time moving out. There was always someone else there. I wasn't ever scared. If there was like weird people outside, I could go knock on my roommate's door and be like, hey girl, like what's going on? It is nice having that comfort of being with people no matter what, being around people, having that safety aspect. And I think it's highly underrated moving into a room as your first kind of moving out situation, because it's much cheaper. You have a lot less to take care of, and also you have that group environment where you have people to fall back on, people to talk to. If you're having a hard time or you're a little bit scared, you can follow through with those people. I think it was a perfect situation for me moving out, because I was looking at apartments and I could afford them, but I don't think that was the best option for me first time around. Like, let's slowly work our way up. Now, second time around, I did move into an apartment on my own. My problem was I didn't research the company. If you are renting from like a management company, please, for the love of God, research the company, see who they are, see their reviews. If it's like maintenance never comes through, they're never coming through. Unfortunately, I took a risk, and this was a new management company, and they had no reviews. Yeah, none is just as bad as 100 0 stars, because I had no heat for about 3 months in the winter, and I had no like cool air for about 3 months in the summer where it was 110 degrees. It was so incredibly bad. They wouldn't they wouldn't fix it. I got to the point where I was like, well, I simply am not paying rent. Like, I'm not paying you guys rent. It's unlivable. This is an unlivable situation. I looked up what it is, like the tenant rules for the state of Missouri and what you're required to provide me, and you're not providing it for me. I'm not paying rent. Like, hello. Guess what? As soon as you say you're not paying rent, they will come through and they will fix that shit ASAP. I promise you. But do your research, especially if it's coming from a management company. Where I live now, I'm very, very thankful. The best people to rent from are people who are like independent owners of the building. Either they own a couple properties or they own one building, but they're easy to reach. The person I rent from right now is very passionate about what they do, and they're very quick to answer. It is a blessing, truly, truly, truly. And I found this apartment. When you're hunting, I think you can look, there's 3 different ways to look when you are hunting for apartments. You can look on Facebook, like Roommate Hunter, which I think is fantastic. If you are first time moving out, looking for a roommate, looking for a house to move into, looking for a room, whatever it is. Roommate Hunter, Facebook apartments, Facebook Roommate Hunter, every single city is going to have their own kind of group. That's where I found mine. And I highly recommend utilizing that if you're looking for a roommate or looking for a new place to live and you maybe don't have any friends in the city, don't know anybody to room with. Fantastic. Now I found my other apartment that was horrible, awful, no heat, no AC, on Zillow and apartments.com. I think it's a great option, especially for houses. If I'm looking for houses right now, and Zillow is really honestly all that I'm using. But the most underrated way and the ultimate best way to find apartments, to find those hidden gems, the beautiful apartments, the beautiful houses, is to get in your car and drive around the neighborhoods slowly and look for rent signs. Those will never be listed on Zillow. They will never be listed on apartments.com. They will never be listed on Facebook. It is probably owner run, where they're easy to contact. It's their house, so they're a little bit more passionate about maintenance, about responding quickly. That is the best way to find those hidden little gems. And that's how I found this apartment here. It's actually not the one that I drove by, but I called and I was like, hey, I saw this place. Looks very interesting. He was like, oh, yes, I already rented it out, but I do have something else available. Bam. Here I am. Truly the best apartment I've ever lived in. Now that I'm looking for houses, though, I know that I've outgrown this place, but I am still staying patient with myself and not putting myself into a new situation out of desperation. I am not putting myself into a new situation out of like need to feed ego. like Miss Sophie on the Patreon said, I'm planting my seeds and I am waiting and I am chilling and I'm enjoying this place for what it is for the little bit of time that I do have it left. And I'm slowly taking my time looking around. You know, once a week, I'm driving through neighborhoods. I'm looking for rent signs. I'm contacting people. I'm going on like 2 house tours a week, checking it out, seeing things, but also like if I don't love the place, it is not worth uprooting my life right now and moving. Definitely not. I'm staying patient and I'm holding out for that perfect little Hannah house because here, I mean, cigarette smoke aside, it's a beautiful apartment and it's quite honestly perfect. It's just after both my boyfriend and I's cars got stolen and the cigarette smoke of it all, I know I'm ready to kind of have my own space, to be alone, no neighbors, enjoy my full house to the extent, have a yard, be able to self-tan in my yard outside, be able to have a little garden outside. But I have all these big wants and needs, which means I am not rushing into a place that is not fulfilling my desires and not fulfilling what I want. I'm not going to lie to myself and be like, this will work, and then move into it and just have another bad time. Taking my time, planning ahead, working slowly, saving money, and I know eventually I will find that place and everything will work out. But yeah, if you need to move out, that's kind of my journey and how it's looked for my past 3 places that I've moved out to. Like I said, if I can give you any piece of advice, it's stay patient, save your money, and stay looking out, okay? Keep your eyes peeled. Look for those little for rent signs. Don't be afraid to call a random number written on the bottom. Check it out. Take your time touring. You will move into that new beautiful place eventually. Trust in that. Know that that is a fact. And everything else will work out in your favor. Period. Someone asked, how to survive crazy period mood swings. I've become so evil recently. Oh, girl, I feel you on this big time, big time. I have had, with my IUD, luckily, my periods nowadays aren't as heavy as they once were. I'm talking in the past, I would need a Super Plus tampon every single hour. So the lack of blood in my body and iron plus the mood swings made me into a depressed, raging bitch. Luckily now where it's just mood swings and I am not bleeding so much, I'm not like iron deficient anymore. It's just like a little bit of mood swings, but still it sucks. It really does suck. I don't know. Women's hormones kind of are evil and awful because it's like I'm having a great time and then all of a sudden I'm a raging bitch and I feel like I have no control over it, and it can be so frustrating at times, especially when you're on your period. I don't know if you're like me, but I do the period warning. I really do. To everybody in my life that I love, I will do a period warning, and not to like stigmatize periods and be like, oh, women just become difficult on their periods. Hello, I am shedding an entire lining of my uterus to make room for new life. I am able to bring life into this world. Do not fuck with me. Do not fuck with me at this time. Period. Yes, I'm going through a lot. Duh. Hello. Any men, if a man bled from their dick, they would immediately like have a seizure, pass out, be like, I need to be in the hospital for weeks at a time. Us women, we do not have it easy. I am allowed to sit here and complain and also be a victim to my hormonal state at the time. Okay. But yeah, like with my boyfriend, I'll be like, I started my period. Please just like be patient with me and understanding. And if I have like a weird freak out or I just start crying over something random, like the other day, like my quesadilla didn't have enough cheese on it and I broke down crying, and he looked at me like, do I need to lock you up in the psych ward? And I was like, no, listen, I'm just having a moment. I'm on my period. And it's like, okay, understood. You do your thing, babe. Love you. If you need support, let me know, you know? And luckily I work with mostly women at this point in time. So when I do clock in at work, if I'm like in a funk, I'll be like, girls, I'm on my period. I have brain fog. I'm just not feeling it. I'm crampy. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm going through it. Please understand. And the women, they'll be like, yep, I got you, girl. Understood completely. Now, when it comes to like managing internally, truly, it's just like not that deep. You know, when I'm crying over the amount of cheese on my quesadilla, I just have to remind myself like it's not that deep. But also, when you feel so like out of control with your emotions, it's okay to have that little breakdown. It's okay to have that sobbing in the corner moment. It's okay to like have a good cry if you need to, because I don't think repressing your emotions or telling yourself your emotions aren't good enough, or oh, it's just your period so you don't deserve to feel these things, is like valid. You know, the only times I ever do have mental breakdowns are usually on my period, and I allow those times to come. I allow myself to feel that emotion at that time, sob a little bit, release it, and then move forward with life. It just keeps that emotional flow going without feeling so stagnant or stuck in that negative emotional space. Girl, what? If your man was in jail, how would you cope being apart? Oh, babe. Oh, babe. Actually, me and my boyfriend have had this conversation. Not that he does illegal things anymore, but in the past, he is such a Scorpio where it's like, if I burn, you burn with me, like, you know, just so like lovers till the end of times. Like, baby, I'm not crashing in the car with you. I don't know about you. I am a lover girl. I will ride for you, but there is a limit to where I ride. Like, the bus will end eventually and I will get off the fucking bus if I need to. I'm not burning to the ground with you. I love you, but that is a choice you're making for yourself, not for the both of us, period. And I've had this conversation with him where he's like, you know, if I went to jail, like, would you still be with me? No. Like, I hate to say it, I'm not going to pause my life because you intentionally decided to pause yours. Now, if it's like a quick little thing, okay? I'm talking less than a year. Sure, I guess, depending on how long we've been together. I mean, 5 years at this point. If he's in jail for like 3 months, depending on the charge and the crime, I'm assuming, like, in my brain, I'm always assuming it would be like paraphernalia related, not like horrible crime related. Like, whatever, I'll come visit you, sure. I don't know, it would definitely change how I view things, and like if I want to build a life with this person. But it's like, I'll come visit you, I'll come say hi. Yeah, I'll come say hi. Will you be my boyfriend in jail? That is, I don't know about that. But will I come visit you, you know, give you a little commissary money? Sure, why not? You know? But girl, I see some of these women who are like, my man's in prison for 15 years. I'm going to wait it out for him. I understand if like he didn't really do anything bad, okay, like didn't murder anybody, cause harm against anybody, and also like you have children together, you've been together a long time, like I understand where that loyalty falls in. But if you are a young little girly and your boyfriend ends up in jail, girl, you guys just broke up. Practically, you guys practically just broke up. I need you to not put your life on hold for these men ever, especially when it comes to going to like jail or prison, even worse. Hello. And my simple opinion is that way because I don't think men would give us the same benefit of the doubt. I don't think these men would show up and visit you in jail. I don't think they would wait 5 plus 10 plus years for you. I don't think they would, you know, stay celibate for you outside of jail. I don't think they would call you every day. I don't think they would give you the commissary money. I don't think that they would do that for you. So why the fuck are women doing it for men? Hello. But no, the same way, like, you'll have a conversation with your man that's like, if I was a worm, would you love me? I think this is a conversation that every couple should have, where it's like, if you go to jail, like, would you still stay with me if you went to jail? I mean, the answer should probably be no. Like, I want you to go out and live your life, period. If I went to jail for a long time, I would tell my boyfriend, like, please, love you, come visit me, but also like move on with your life. If I'm gonna be in there for 10-15 years, like, please move on with your life. I'm here, I'll handle my shit here, probably become someone's wifey in here, but I need you to move on with your life, because I don't want to, you know, feel like I'm having to, not only hold my life back, but also someone else, especially someone else that I love. I think that's just really selfish. Obsessed with my ex-friend who apparently never liked me. I stalk her socials. Help. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I really enjoy the internet and what it has given us for many reasons, including being able to connect with so many different people so quickly. But also this is one of the reasons why I hate the internet. I hate the phone. I hate the phone so much. We, especially with like information and headlines and news articles and people making their life so prevalent on the internet, we at this point in time feel like we have a access to people's lives that in the olden days would get you locked up for stalking and harassment. Like, would get a restraining order filed against you. But since there's social media out there and since people post their lives out there and you can't necessarily tell when this is happening, it goes unchecked. It goes extremely unchecked. I view this, and you really, to break this kind of cycle where it's like I feel the compulsion to follow around and check in on people that like either I hate or I don't like or I feel spited by. It is not healthy. It is not healthy at all. And I equate that behavior, even though it's on the phone, to the same experience I had when I was younger, where my best friend's mom was dating this guy and they broke up, and then he showed up outside of their house and was peeking into their windows at 3 a.m. That is the equivalent of stalking them on social media. And you guys need to get that through your head. I think that people have found it to be like, oh, not so bad, or, you know, it's not that obsessive. I'm just checking Instagram. Like, Instagram is so casual. It's nothing crazy. No. It is. It's the same behavior. It's the same compulsive, obsessive behavior. It's the same stalker behavior. And it is like not okay. It really isn't. And the sooner you realize that, the freer you'll be. Okay. And I know this because I've been there. I mean, anybody with social media has been there where it's like, okay, I'm checking up on somebody over and over and over again that like maybe it's not healthy for me. Maybe it's just not good for me. I mean, my first ex I was this way with because we were like, oh, we're, it was on mutual agreement terms. You know, we broke up mutually. Girl, that never fucking happens. Literally ever. But then like, oh, we're staying friends or whatever. So I still had access to his socials and I would check that shit constantly. And I would be like, well, what is he doing? Oh, he has a new girl. Oh, I'm just kind of like, it's like emotional self-harm, truly, especially if you're checking up on a person where it's like hurting your heart to see what they're doing, like a friend who never liked you, but it's like I have to keep checking on what they're doing. Are they doing better than me? Like, who are they hanging out with now? Like, what are they up to? It's emotional self-harm. It is online stalking. It is obsessive compulsive behavior. And it's just so incredibly harmful to your psyche. The only person you should be that obsessed with is yourself. And yes, this like unrestricted access to information on the internet has made it seem okay, has made it seem like it's not that bad of a behavior. Oh, this is what the internet's for. Like, they wouldn't follow me if I wasn't allowed to do this. No. Nope. No. It is so invasive. It is so harmful to you and the other person. And please, if you're going to break one habit when it comes to social media, it's internet stalking. The internet is so amazing. Truly. It's so amazing. You can get on there and you can connect with so many different people. You can have so many great, fantastic interactions. You can play an RPG game where you are completely escaping your body and just like living as a medieval peasant for like months on end. You can, find groups of people that you can interact with. You can find inspiration. You can find beautiful pieces of art, literature, PDFs of, books that you've never read before. There is a fantastic way for you to use the internet, and there is a harmful way for you to use the internet. I mean, there's yin and yang to everything, and you need to catch yourself in the act when you are doing something harmful. Internet stalking is like become, especially like with more Like, I feel like we see it on a very personal level where maybe it's you were the only person stalking that person, which is so scary. But also we see it at a bigger level, which makes it seem more okay, where you see like the Reddit snarkers or like people making tea videos on certain influencers or certain creators or even celebrities. Like you see the what are they called, like blind items on celebrities. It's like, wow, we've become so okay interfering and becoming so obsessed with other people's lives that it's kind of embarrassing. It's actually kind of embarrassing, because if your life exists to become so obsessed with someone else's life, like, girl, that's a waste of a life. We only get so many years. You're going to waste how much time worrying about somebody else and what they're doing and being so obsessed with what they're doing, eating, breathing, thinking, feeling, smelling. Like, it is a waste of time and energy. And like low-key kind of evil, low-key kind of soul-sucking. And I don't want any of you guys to find yourself in that spiral. I had to realize just how psychotic it was for me, and also like just how low-key self-harming it was for me. The internet can be a self-harm tool. Absolutely. It's more so an emotional self-harm tool than anything. And being too overanalyzing about anybody or anything, even yourself, can be negative, especially when you're comparing lives or comparing experiences. Stalking an ex. Oh, what are they doing? Are they having more fun than me? Stalking an ex best friend. What are they doing? Are they having more fun than me? It is self-harm. It's emotional self-harm. And the only way to break like those negative cycles that you do experience is to realize how fucking insane it is and how negative it is making your life. Please understand, when you click on their Instagram profile to stalk them, you are basically standing outside their window looking inside. That is the crazy behavior you're doing. Visualize that every single time you do it. You will eventually stop doing it, because you don't want to be that weirdo random outside someone's house at 3 a.m. peeking into their windows. I don't need any of you guys like that. Internet safety is important. Your internet safety is important. And stalking online, stalking these people is not some fun little silly thing. Mentally, it can make you so emotionally drained. It can make you a shell of a human. You do not need to be spending that much time enthralled in somebody else's life when your life is meant to be lived in front of you. You're wasting 8 hours of screen time on the phone in a fight or flight response over what someone else is doing. Girl, get a grip, please. Any wisdom for Taurus season? Ooh, I love a Taurus. My best friend's a Taurus. I've grown up with her. They're very like, I feel like they can be seen as like hard-headed. And there's a flip side to every coin when it comes to Taurus, or with any sign, honestly, where it's like you have the healed version and then you have the unhealed version of Taurus. Healed version of Taurus is very strong in their beliefs and knows what they want and does not settle for less. They really indulge in the pleasure of their senses and enjoyment and fulfillment of their life. They do not waste their time fighting, but when they do fight, it is for something that they care about and really, really are passionate about. They only lock horns when it is a due time to do so. Now, the unhealed version of Taurus is constantly locking horns in any situation, constantly fighting, constantly angry. They are maybe too self-indulgent to the point where they're over self-critical, overly negative, overly focused on themselves, or on the flip side, not focused on themselves at all, putting them down, putting their needs aside, not engaging in that self-care that they do truly need. I know a lot of Tauruses in credit card debt. Please be careful with those self-care spendings. And Taurus can also be lazy. Like, they can know what they want, but if they don't believe in themselves and they aren't strong inside themselves, they won't actually go after it. So please be aware of the healed Taurus and engage in those behaviors. You do deserve a little bit of self-care. This is the time to pamper yourself. This is the time to enjoy time with yourself, to enjoy that meal, to really take your time enjoying that show, to, really enjoy your nightly blunt if that's what you get into, to enjoy time with friends and family, to celebrate them, to celebrate yourself. Be careful with your emotions. Do not lock horns if it is not needed. Choose your battles wisely. Don't get into credit card debt. And most importantly, go after everything you fucking want. Really. If you know in your heart and your head what you want, the only thing holding you back is you. And what's beautiful about Taurus is they have this undying energy that's just like the truth of it all. You know, I talked about the truth of I will get here, the fact of it all. That their life, their dreams are facts. They know they will get there. They are not afraid to take that next step. The self-care that they indulge in fuels them to take that next step, to keep pushing forward, to go after everything they want. Now is the time to do so. You deserve it. You deserve a good time. Absolutely. Opinions on outdoor sex. Y'all are crazy. Listen, the only time I will have outside sex is and this is me as a like grown giving you this answer, but it's only if I'm like in a tent in the middle of the woods, like in the middle of nowhere next to nobody. Because here's the thing, you don't want to be given an indecent exposure charge. You will be put on a registry if you are caught having sex outside. Like literally. I think about high school all the time where it was like everybody's fucking in the back of cars. Everybody's fucking in the back of cars in public spaces, Walmart parking lot, everywhere. Like not me. Listen, I was not having sex in high school, but like that's what everybody was doing. I think about that a lot. Like y'all could have caught a charge very quickly, very, very quickly. And mediocre dick is not worth a charge. That's for sure. But yeah, if I'm like camping in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere, like no, cops aren't walking up on us, whatever. That's fine. I mean, I have done it in the past. Most notable place my California girls will know is El Matador Beach. Yeah, there was no one there. It was like a Tuesday afternoon. We were on vacation. We were at the beach. And I'm like, I'm just going to bend over real quick. Like, just very quickly. Now that I'm older and I'm just like more mentally stable, I physically don't think I could do that because I don't think I'd be able to have a good time because the entire time I'd be thinking about catching a charge. Like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Wait till you get home. Wait till you get into a private place, whatever it is. But please be careful. Be careful. I don't know. I don't get the thrill of it all. I understand some people are like, ooh, it's like we're not supposed to be doing it, so it's sexier. I don't get that. Maybe it's because I have an anxiety disorder. But like if I am extra anxious, sex is not going to be fun for me. So doing it in an unfamiliar, uncomfortable place is usually not the best thing for me, you know? Yeah, but to each their own. And yes, like I said, if I'm going to give any advice, it's don't do it outside. Ooh, another great one. Ways to not gag. My man deserves the best, but the fear of throwing up is too real. Don't give head after a full meal. Like, do it on an empty stomach if you're going to do it. Not too empty because that also triggers your gag reflex, but definitely not after a full meal. Somewhere in the middle is ideal. And also, like, you don't have to put their entire dick down your throat. You don't have to be laying upside down on the bed letting them fuck your face. Like, that, you don't have to be doing that. You're not a porn star. You're not filming, exclusive content. You're not trying to do, like, the craziest best thing. I mean, if you're wanting to give your boyfriend the craziest best things, please do it. As long as you're having fun, who cares? But also, like, if there's only so much you can do, do not stress yourself out. Trust. That's when your hands come into play. That's when your hands are actually a fantastic tool. I argue I am able to get my boyfriend off if I, like, really, really, like, set my focus and do it quickly. Like, I remember the other day, it was actually the podcast where I was like, my man's coming home and he's getting head. Yes, of course that happened. But he was trying to go to his friends. He was like going to shower and go to his friends, but there was like a short window of time where his friend was going to be there. So we had actually maybe like 2 minutes. And I was like, well, do you want head or not? And of course he sat his ass down and said, yes, please, ma'am. And I think I was able to get him off in probably like a minute and a half. And that's because I'm utilizing my hands and my mouth. You have to utilize both, okay? It's all about like the intense pleasure and the various feelings that are going on down there that make it so intense. So you just stack your hands on, like literally how I'm holding this podcast mic, okay? We love a tutorial where it's like you can, I mean, I don't know if you can fit both hands on there, hopefully, but even if it's just one, but two hands, you're gonna do opposite turnings, and then all you have to do is put the tip in your mouth. That's it. That's all you have to do, because it's gonna feel like the entire thing is in your throat with both hands on there and your mouth, but it's not. And then also the key to distraction of not taking the entire dick down your throat is making a lot of noise. Fake gagging, okay? Fake gagging, you know, slurping and slopping it up. You can, if you can only fit one hand on there, maybe reach down, play with the balls a little bit, whatever it is. He will be literally putty in your hands. I promise you. But it's about like the overstimulation of it all. Doing as many different things as you possibly can to distract from the fact that you can't take a full dick down your throat. But also, like, I don't think that's what men are begging for. And in fact, I think most men find it like, ooh, hot, sexy, like she can't take it all, you know? I think they're like, oh, like I'm too big. Like, no, I'm just trying not to vomit all over you. But like, that's like their little pea-sized brain. That's how it works. It's like, oh, she's gagging on 2 inches. Like, wow, I must be so massive. It's like, girl, no, I just had a full Chick-fil-A meal before this, and I'm not trying to regurgitate it on you. So yes, please use your hands. I guarantee you will. And also, tip for the hands, when you place them on, I mean, if you're facing him, at least when you place them on, and I learned this through nursing school, which is crazy. Not that they were telling us how to get off, but learning the anatomy of the peen really helped me understand like where the nerve endings were and how to actually enact the most pleasure. So on the very bottom side of the penis, there's this thing called the like periotherial, I don't know, peri something vein. Anyways, it's the massive vein on the bottom. If you put both of your thumbs there and slowly massage like up and down as you're moving your head, girl, that's the key, okay? I have so many tips and tricks to giving head, and it's all because I'm like, I don't want to be down there for 30 minutes. Like, let me get this done in a minute top. So let me break out all the steps. But yes, if you don't want to take it all, you don't have to. Please, for the love of God, save that Chick-fil-A money. Like, you just spent $30 on a meal. You don't need to vomit it up on him. And also, if a man is getting head and you throw up on him, he better be a real fucking man and not give a fuck about it. Truly. I don't think I've ever thrown up on a man, but like, if I did, you better, like, you better be thankful, okay? At least I was down there, all right? So don't get too embarrassed. How to stop caring what your ex thinks of you. So for me personally, the way that I heal after a breakup is I truly pretend they were in a plane crash and are dead and gone. This only works because if it's like, I'm never going to see you again. It sucks when it's like, oh, we go to the same school, I'm going to keep seeing him around, or we have the same friend group. That's just messy. Never been through that. I've never dated within that because I never wanted to be in that experience, but I understand how sometimes you are. And like, yeah, if you occasionally run into them, whatever, pretend they're their twin, don't engage as if they're alive. That's how I behave. I also have a personality disorder, so I think it's easy for me to split in that direction. Also the Gemini helps definitely, but I just genuinely pretend they're dead and have never existed, never did exist. I don't remember, wasn't there. Done for. I think even if I ran into any of my exes like out on the street, which they'd probably be homeless, but like if I ran into any of them, I don't think I would recognize them because I have truly pretended immediately after that I never had that experience, that they are dead and gone, truly, to me, to the world around me, done for. Deleting all the photos really help. Deleting contacts very much so helps. Limiting interaction. If it's like, I know that he walks down this hallway every day at this time, don't walk down that hallway on purpose. If it's like, I know he has this class at this time, maybe avoid that area the best you can. I know it sucks to have to avoid somebody, but if it brings you peace of mind, then better to do it than not, in my opinion. Like, I know there's some places I go where it's a risk that I could run into them, but also it's the satisfaction of knowing that, like, I am so much hotter and sexier and untouchable than I was before, where I know that if they see me, they will be more intimidated than I would be of them. That's what really gets me. I mean, you could pretend they're dead all you want, but it's like, if you run into them again, truly leveling up and becoming hot and sexy and just so untouchable makes that interaction so much more like, oh, poor you. I'm over here having the best time of my life. Oh, poor you. Yeah, I bet you do want this back. I don't give a fuck. Still, I'm pretending I'm seeing a ghost, not an actual human. But like, sad, sucks for you. Bye, you know? You got to have that egotistical mindset, honestly. The ego does come in handy every once in a while, specifically in the category of how to stop caring about your ex. You do got to inflate the ego a little bit. Dealing with tattoo regrets. Oh. Ooh. Okay, unpopular opinion, actually, maybe philosopher of our time. I don't think we would be seeing so many people with tattoo regrets if laser removal was not an option. Okay? Back in the day, laser removal did not exist. You cannot get tattoos removed. You could get them covered up. You could not get them removed. You never saw anybody complaining about tattoo regrets. It was like, oh, I got this dumb tattoo, but also it reminds me of that dumb time in life. Who cares? It was not like, I need to spend $5,000 lasering it off of me. Yeah. I think if lasers didn't exist, we wouldn't be thinking so much about it. And also, like, any person with tattoos is going to have tattoo regrets eventually. Trust. They will. But I think if you really take your time getting tattoos and get something that you want, get something that you enjoy, and think about it and find an artist that you like, you won't have those regrets, you know? Even like dumb tattoos, like I have like my eye on the back of my neck that's massive and blown out. It's like, yeah, that's kind of silly. And is this something that I like love as much as I did when I was younger? No, but also it's a part of me and it reminds me of a part of that time and a message that I wanted to keep with me. And is it something that I regret? No, not really. But is it something that really sticks so hard with me right now? No. It's a balance, you know? It's kind of like a, I don't care, it's there. Happy about it, but also like not overthinking it. I think so many people are overthinking it right now because we see so many people who are like, I'm going to get my tattoos removed. And it's like, oh, that's an option. Now I need to overthink my tattoos. Now I need to think, do I need to get my tattoos removed? Yeah. I mean, I have really fucking stupid tattoos. I have someone's Twitter handle tattooed on the bottom of my foot, but it's spelled wrong. So I don't remember who it was because I was blackout drunk and I tattooed it on myself. Girl, of course you would think, oh, she's going to go get that lasered immediately. No, I think it's kind of silly and funny and like stupid. And it reminds me of that time in my life where I was stupid and a drunk, but also like it's a fun little story. Who cares? This is another one of those habits where it's like we are thinking too much about ourselves. We are thinking way too fucking much about ourselves. And the overthinking and overanalyzing of ourselves is putting us into a place of stagnancy where we are never going to be enough. We are never going to do the right thing. We are never going to make the right decision. We are always going to be looking for something new, trying to change ourselves. When in reality, who we are right now is good enough, period. You do not always have to be on the path of self-betterment. Sometimes you can let yourself just relax and enjoy and revel in the work that you did do in the past and enjoy who you are now. You don't always have to be on that train of like, but I need to change, I need to do this. I mean, love the enthusiasm, babe, but can we just let ourselves be human for a little bit of time? And that includes making dumb decisions and having dumb little tattoos. I'm not against getting them removed. If you have the money and it's something that you truly do hate, go ahead, get them removed. But I think what's really underrated in the whole removal process that we're seeing right now is the cover-up factor. I love a tattoo cover up. I think there's so many really fun, stylistic ways to have that tattoo covered up, to also give like an artist another chance, to add something fun to your body, add some new art. It's like, oh, well, I like the placement. I do like the tattoo. It's not that I don't want the tattoo. It's just that I don't like it anymore. Get it covered up. My mom has had tattoos covered up. I mean, she had some like words on her arm that got blown out like over time, and she had that covered up and then was able to incorporate new art into her sleeve. Like, it's really beautiful. But yeah, tattoo removal, lasering is influencer brain rot. You need to get off the phone. Like, there's other things you could be spending $4,000 on, not lasering off a tattoo 8 times, in my humble opinion. But hey, if you got the money and you got the energy to do it, who am I to tell you what to do with your life? What are some yummy summer drinks to order at a bar? Depends on the bar you're at, honestly. If I worked at like a dive bar and someone walked up to me and asked me to make them a French 75, I would want to punch them in the fucking face. You need to read the room. You really do, especially if you don't order a lot of drinks or you don't know where you are. Read the room. Safest bet is always ordering off of whatever menu they have. They took time putting together those cocktails, coming up with something fun, coming up with a delicious drink. If you're at a restaurant or like a cocktail bar, go with what they have. Ask for recommendations. Do those things. Trust me on that. They've made that drink 1,000 fucking times. It's going to be delicious. If you're at a dive bar, do not order a cocktail. You're ordering a alcohol in a mixer or something in a can or something out of a tap. Those are your options. Do not stray from those options. You will not enjoy your time. For me personally, if I'm going to a restaurant and maybe they don't have great options or it's a place where I understand that they can make whatever I want, I love a French 75. I love a French 75, especially for the summertime. Little citrusy, little gin. You can substitute vodka. That's my favorite way to do it. Little simple syrup topped with Prosecco. Bubbly, citrusy. Amazing. Incredible. Fantastic. And it's an anti-lemon drop season, okay? No more lemon drops. The girls, you have outgrown the lemon drops. No more lemon drops. They aren't even good for you. They're not even good. They're too sugary. You're going to have an incredible hangover. It's not worth it. It's not delicious. It's not yummy. No more lemon drops. We are too old for that shit, girls. French 75s. That's the way to go. As a bartender, I'm so anti-lemon drop. If someone orders a lemon drop for me, I automatically know like I'm not getting tipped. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about that specific drink where it's like I'm not getting tipped. There's certain things in the restaurant industry where it's like, oof, that's a red flag. That's a red flag order. Lemon drop shots or lemon drop martinis are a red flag order. When I walk up to your table and I say, hi, how are you doing? And you immediately order something, red flag, red flag. Listen, I am pro marijuana, but if you come into a restaurant reeking of weed, you're either going to tip me very, very well or really, really bad. There's no in between. I had this poor guy come in the other week who was just so high out of his mind. He didn't finish his meal and then definitely left me way too much money. But also I've had it on the flip side where it's like, you're too high to do math. And that's going to be a problem. If I end up refilling your glass of Coke or Sprite 10 times, up to 3 or 4, I get it. But 10 times you're putting down that much soda, I feel like I'm not going to get tipped well. Also, on the flip side, when people come up to me and they're like, oh, I was in the industry, I used to serve, I usually never get tipped well by those tables either. I'm guilty of this, not the tipping portion, but like if I go to a restaurant and they're crazy, crazy busy, I'll sometimes like be apologetic for even being there. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm a server. I get it. You just do your best, babe. And I understand that can maybe be a red flag, but especially when it's people who have outgrown the industry and haven't been in it for a while, I feel like they can be a bit more judgmental and very much so low tippers. Anyways, not to like profile people, but those are kind of the red flags that I've seen in the restaurant industry so far. But recently, especially during the summertime, the lemon drops, please, no, free yourself. How to not be extremely self-critical and paranoid and negative during a smoke sesh. Girl, oh my God, we got to free you from the demons in your brain. My God. Understand that the anxiety that you're feeling from the weed will not last forever, maybe like a good 15 minutes, but it'll, then give to euphoria. So chill for a second. I love being the disassociated hot bitch in the corner who's not engaging in any conversations. Or if she is engaging in conversations, it's like 1,000-year-old psychic advice. You know what I mean? But I love when I get too high at the function and I'm just sitting there like, eyes closed, smile faded, just looking around the room. When you're too high or paranoid or in your head at the function, get into what the other people are talking about, which is why I think the smoke sesh is so integral to the experience of smoking weed, because you have the other people around you who are in conversation, who are talking about different topics, who are keeping the conversation flowing, who are having a little laugh, who are telling jokes. So when you are too in your head, you can get into what they're speaking about, into the conversation that's happening. Smoke Sesh here, this podcast is kind of that for me, where it's like if you're too high and you're like, I gotta distract myself a little bit, please, for the love of God, I gotta escape my brain for a little bit, you can put on this podcast and find solace and peace in that. That's what the Smoke Sesh is about. So if you find yourself too paranoid or a little too anxious, you can tell a trusted friend next to you and be like, maybe let's go for a walk or whatever. But ultimately, the smoke sesh is a safe zone where you can tune out your brain and tune on whatever is happening around you. Pay attention to the conversation in front of you. Stop overanalyzing yourself and maybe overanalyze the people around you. And also, key rule of the smoke sesh, if you have nothing good to say, especially about yourself, keep it inside. Don't say it out loud. No need for self-demeaning or paranoid behavior in the smoke sesh. Keep it inside. Talk about silly, funny things like aliens. It'll get the demons to go away. But also, the smoke sesh should be a safe space where it's like if you're going through a hard time and you need to talk about something serious, those people will truly ultimately be there for you. You know what I mean? They should be there for you to have those conversations and to work through those feelings. How to survive a hangover? Oh, girl. Trust. I got the best option. But I do want to bring up Anthony Bourdain's favorite hangover routine, because I do think it is definitely based in reality, and it is a very, very good option if you have no other idea of what to do. But he said aspirin, cold Coca-Cola, smoke a joint, eat some spicy Szechuan food. Works every time. And he is not fucking lying. If you kind of stay within that realm of process, you will be able to cure your hangover. My hangover routine is very similar. Instead of aspirin, it is ibuprofen. I take like 1,000 milligrams. No, this is not a doctor recommendation. It's just what I do. I eat as much ibuprofen as I can because I don't like aspirin. He drinks a cold Coca-Cola. Very real. Mine is a cold Diet Coke. We love her. Specifically a Diet Cherry Coke if I can get my paws on it. Or if I'm really, really fucking hungover and I need some electrolytes, a Gatorade. Depends on if I've been throwing up. If I've been throwing up, I'm drinking a Gatorade. If it's just hangoverness, I'm doing a Diet Coke. Smoke a joint. Real. Period. And then he said eat some spicy Szechuan food. Mine is eat something spicy. Doesn't matter what. It could be noodles. It could be spicy breakfast burrito, spicy quesadilla. It could be a burger, something, anything big meal. As long as it's a big meal. Spicy really helps because it gives your stomach something else to focus on. But you need some food to soak up that alcohol. You need some food to get the process of your body running where it can process off all that alcohol. And that's the key to beating a hangover, truly. Pain management, cold drink, weed, big meal. Wait, this is kind of emotional. Someone asked, who is someone you miss? Oddly enough, I miss like my freshman to senior year, or like sophomore to senior year best friend that I had. She reminds me so much of Chapel Roan, but I don't know. We definitely grew into two different places. And that's the one thing about just simply growing apart from friends is you have all of these amazing, amazing memories. It's just you naturally went in two different directions and kind of naturally split. And there's no hatred in that. There's no like malice or anything, but there is that kind of sadness of like, I miss that like magic that we had. But I do know it existed in that point in time for a reason. And she was such an amazing person in my life. She was such a really good friend. She saw my weirdness and my craziness and understood that and loved me unconditionally for that. That's exactly what I needed during that time, especially coming out of the psych ward and just trying to manage the rest of my high school years. And I appreciate her so much for that time of my life and for being there for me. But truly, like if there's someone that I miss right now, it's definitely her. I think about her a lot and wish her nothing but the best, honestly. But yeah, it definitely grew into two different directions. And so there's something even like more heartbreaking about that than having like a big friendship blowout. Because I've also had friendship blowouts where it's like, you did me dirty, fuck you, I don't fuck with you anymore, I just can't trust you. And that's so simple. It's so straightforward. You can focus on your anger and know that that is valid and keep it pushing. But there is something about where it's just like it fizzles out. It's the quiet breakup that hurts more because there is just so much good that you had, and there wasn't really any bad. But honestly, thankful for no bad with her and wish her nothing but the best. That was such a cute question. Wait. They also said, and if your life was a TV show, what season and episode are you on? Oh, girl, my entire life. I feel like, seasons 1 through 3 would be like me graduating high school. And then seasons 3 through 5 are like my early 20s, like chaos. And then, the fifth season, I feel like every fifth season is kind of like, okay, boring, redundant, same things over and over again. I feel like I'm at the end of my fifth season, the very end. I'm approaching like the very final episode where it sets it up for a new big exciting season that kind of revamps the whole entire series as a whole. I feel like I'm almost there. I'm almost to the end of the season, and it's feeling very heartwarming and cathartic, and I'm very much so looking back on the past and appreciating it. But I know I'm rounding out this chapter and this season, and what's going to come next is just going to be so amazing and so incredible. And I honestly can't wait, but I really am just enjoying these little moments in my life the best that I can and not taking them for granted. Because the one truth about growing up and the one thing that I've always encountered is, grass is always greener. And you can be in a place and want so badly to be 5 years in the future, or to have achieved that big goal, or to have moved out already, or have that next thing, that you kind of take for granted where you are now. And you will achieve that next thing. Like I said, it's a fact, it's truth, you will get there. But then once you get there, you kind of look back and you're like, wow, I do miss that part of my life. I do miss that era of my life, the same way I miss my sophomore year best friend, my senior year best friend. You do kind of realize how much you did take for granted and how much it did mean to you, even though in the moment you might have been too preoccupied with other things going on. So I'm really, really trying to be aware of that and to appreciate where I am now to the best of my ability, and really just make the best of it that I can. So then when I am achieving those big things and getting to that next place in life, I know that I lived this season, this chapter of my life to the fullest, and I have no regrets. Anyways, with that being said, I feel like that's a good note to end the podcast on. I hope you had a fantastic episode with me today. Hopefully I was able to bring you a little bit of light or love this week, maybe kind of put some things into perspective. I know a lot of you are probably graduating here soon, so please, please, please understand that there are big things coming, but don't rush the now. Don't forget about the now. This is the time to celebrate, to enjoy. Finals suck, but also there's something so cathartic about getting through something hard and standing beside yourself during those hard times. Celebrate yourself a little. Summer's coming up. May is almost here, literally like next week. we are going to be doing a lot of celebrating. You're going to be outside. You're going to be enjoying life. It's going to get hot and sweaty here very quickly, metaphorically in life in a very fun way. So enjoy the downtime that you do have. Enjoy the slow moments that you do have. Hug your friends a little bit longer. Savor every bite of your favorite food. Take a moment to pause and, pet your cat, pet your dog, tell them I love you, tell your partner you love them, to look around at the beautiful life that you've created for yourself and give thanks for every moment that you do get to experience, because sooner or later, like I said, you will be off CEO of the world, accomplishing everything that you want, everything that you ever could have dreamed of, everything that you didn't dream of, that you didn't know was possible but found your way to anyways. That is a fact. That is truth. You will get there, but there is something so peaceful about knowing that should give you the opportunity to enjoy every single moment that you have here now in this moment. I get a lot of questions every week that's like, how do you live such like a free, peaceful, and joyful life? Like, it seems like on Instagram you're just frolicking around and like smoking weed and having this great time. It's like, yeah, on Instagram, definitely. But I think also I'm very intentional about capturing moments and appreciating even like the simplicity of my 8,000th morning coffee that I've made myself in the past 8 years, and not taking that for granted, even though it is something that's so familiar to me. For trying to find the good in a rainy day, to bring that spark and that joy into the simplicities of life, no matter how mundane that it does get. I think there's something about optimism that can be so completely transformative. And it's not the easy option. I'll tell you that. There are so many days where I'm just like, I want to lay down in the middle of the road and I hate life and blah, 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 blah. And maybe it's harder for me to crawl out of bed than it is than other days. Maybe I'm feeling a little more down than I am on other days. I'm having a hard mental health day. Whatever it is, choosing optimism is not the easy decision, definitely. But it is the decision that makes my life so much more fulfilling and enjoyable. And I know one day when I'm laying on my deathbed that I will be able to look back and understand that I did everything in my power to make this a good life. No matter what obstacles I faced, no matter what hardships I faced, I did everything in my power to make sure that I was happy and healthy and loved and cared for. And ultimately, that's a choice that you have to make for yourself. And I urge every single one of you to do that for yourself. To stand strong by yourself, to, do the hard things in the name of love, in the name of love for yourself, in the name of care for yourself, to choose optimism, to choose peace of mind, peace of body, peace of soul. You deserve it. If I didn't get to your question this week, I am so sorry. I had a lot of good ones. Time fucking flew by. Hopefully I was able to answer the collective questions, but I do answer every single one of your questions on my Patreon, patreon.com/smokeseshawty. Every Thursday, I do an extra episode. We go as long as we have to. I think I've done a 2-hour podcast over there before. Every single question, I upload a questionnaire. You guys submit your question. I go through every single one of them and give the best advice that I could possibly give. I also upload Monday inspiration from my Pinterest and straight from my Tumblr. I upload little full moon and new moon write-ups. We do Sunday spiritual days where I share my favorite spells. I just shared a money bowl spell that I did, and as well as an evil eye cleansing spell. I share journal prompts. I share a lot of my life with you guys that maybe I don't feel as comfortable sharing to the general public. So come join, come hang out. And if you want to see what I'm up to and see whatever new recipes I'm making, videos I'm making, photos I'm taking, romanticization of life, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. I also upload the questionnaire for this podcast every Sunday. It is up for 24 hours. Do not miss it on my Instagram story at Hannah Marlene. But with that being said, I love you all so very much. To all of my new people who are joining here, welcome. Thank you for being on the journey of Smoke Sesh with me. Hopefully I was able to create a safe space for you today where you could sit back, relax, enjoy, forget about the demons in your brain and focus on something a little more fun. And for those of you who are here every single fucking week, I love you so incredibly much. We have been on this journey for such a long time, and I'm so thankful for everybody who shows up, not only for me, but for themselves every week. I truly couldn't do without you guys. This podcast brings so much light and joy to my life. Truly, there's not one day where I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do the podcast. When I take those days where it's like I need a mental health day or like something crazy is going on in life and I don't have the time to sit down and be with you guys that week, it truly like breaks my heart. You guys bring me so much joy and just inspiration and fun, and I'm so glad that I have people here that we can grow together, become better people together, and share a little laugh every week. But I love you all so very much. Stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!